Welcome everyone to episode 10 of Talk Wrestling here on YouTube. Username NoDQCAW or on NoDQ.com or on MySpace.com. Thanks everyone again for watching last week. I don't know what keeps the show alive. I don't think I'm that enjoyable, but thank you very much for watching nonetheless. And for everybody that was part of the discussion on YouTube and NoDQ and MySpace, thank you very much. We got a lot of questions, not a whole lot of time. Let's just delve right into it. Drew S. Why does WWE, TNA, etc. always sign old talent to get better ratings? Why don't they build new talent so they can get fresh faces on TV and new rivalries? Oh, what a question. Thank you so much. My God. What a concept, huh? Yeah, I don't know why they do that. They always tend to sign the old guys, like Kurt Angle, who was over in WWE, and then like, well, TNA's like, okay, we'll get him and make our ratings boost. We'll get guys like Christian Cage and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Road Dogg and Billy Gunn and make them boost our ratings. And Team 3D, build around the talent you have. My God, TNA had so much talent in their first couple years, and they let it all go to WWE. Build around the talent you have, push them, and you'll do phenomenal. Same with WWE. Don't bring back people like Piper. Don't bring back people like Flair. Honestly, don't bring him back. If he wants to go, let him go. But, you know, have them push the guys you have and keep the guys you have. Don't bring in more divas. This diva search is going to be stupid once again. Bring in guys from OVW. Bring in guys from Florida Championship Wrestling that you're going to build around and build a franchise around. What a concept, huh, people? Just something to think about. This one's from Andrew. How do you feel Brock Lesnar will do in the Ultimate Fighting role? That's a very good question. I think Brock has a chance to be a success. Dana White's pretty much guaranteed it's going to be Brock in the UFC pretty soon, and he has a chance. I really think he does. He's tough. He's big. He's burly. He has an opportunity to be a big success in the Ultimate Fighting world. I think he'll do quite well. Will he be on the level of like Ken Shamrock or Dan Severn or Chuck Liddell or Tito Ortiz? Probably not, but he'll be a moderate success at best. I think so. This one's from I Am Jack Smirking Revenge. Since WWE has decided not to do New Year's Revolution next year, on which pay-per-view do you think the Elimination Chamber will be placed? If it were me, I'd put it at No Way Out. And the reason for that is, it's called No Way Out. What better way to have a No Way Out thing than the only way to get out is to get eliminated? No way out of the Elimination Chamber. No way out of the chamber. You have to be eliminated to be put out. So I think that's a really good idea. Put it in No Way Out if you're going to have it at all again. New Year's Revolution was a good pay-per-view, but I think they're realizing they're having too many pay-per-views per year. I think they're realizing that they're kind of oversaturating the pay-per-view market, and they're going to get rid of a few of them this year. So we'll see what happens. This is from Femme Fatality. Do you believe that with the recent history between WWE and Kurt Angle, they would or would not induct him into the Hall of Fame? I think once his deal with TNA is up and his career is over, they'll induct him in the WWE Hall of Fame. Kurt Angle has a rightful place in the Hall of Fame. Kurt Angle is a great athlete. Kurt Angle is a tremendous WWE superstar at one point. He was a tremendous superstar at one point, I should say. Kurt Angle is one of the all-time greats. Kurt Angle has the potential to be a great in TNA as well. If TNA ever has a Hall of Fame, Kurt Angle will be right at the top of that list. But as far as the WWE Hall of Fame, one day Kurt Angle will be in the Hall of Fame. I don't doubt that whatsoever. This is from Kyle Ryan. I was just watching WrestleMania 21, and I was wondering what you think of the chances are of WWE bringing back the Muhammad Hassan character, or at least bringing back the guy who did the character. I feel bad for the guy because I think it was an awesome wrestler and a great heel. The chances of bringing Muhammad Hassan back are less than 0. UPN demanded he be pulled. He was a very controversial character, too controversial for UPN. I don't think he'll be brought back on Raw or ECW either. I think the guy that portrayed him, Mark, what the hell's his name? Mark something. Doesn't want to do the character anymore. He quit as soon as they pulled him off TV. He quit WWE. I don't know if he's still wrestling, but he quit WWE. So if he's going to be brought back, what are they going to do with him? Everybody realized, oh my God, that was Muhammad Hassan. I remember that guy. It's not like bringing back, Jamal, 3-Minute Warning, and Zumaga, where, yeah, it's the same guy, but it's a totally different character. With him, he'd be the same character if they brought him back, and that's just not feasible for WWE to bring him back. This is from You Are Nothing to Me, I Am Everything to You. Do you like CM Punk's current moveset and style of wrestling with the WWE better than when it was what it was when he was with Ring of Honor in the Indies. It's not completely different now, but you can tell many of his moves, like he used to do the Devil Lock DDT and his Jackie Chan flip out of the corner, are not there anymore. And he has used his Pepsi Twist move a few times now, but it's nowhere near as credible as it once was. Also, even his Anaconda Vice that he used when he first debuted the WWE is no longer present. What do you feel about this? Finally, do you like him better as a heel or a face? I like CM Punk no matter what he is. I am so glad he's ECW champion. I think he's a phenomenal talent. I liked him as a babyface. I like him as a heel too. His moveset is limited in WWE because WWE's moveset is limited in general. If you watch some of his stuff in Ring of Honor, which I've had the opportunity to see finally, his feud with Raven, his feud with his teammate, his teaming up with Colt Cabana, he was phenomenal. He had so many moves. You talk about the Pepsi Twist, the Devil Lock DDT, the Jackie Chan flip out of the corner. He had moves I'd never seen before. He was great. And he does use a lot of that stuff now in his WWE repertoire, but not nearly the extent that he used in TNA, or even TNA, Ring of Honor, and the independent circuit. So it'll be very interesting to see, as he's ECW champion, how he will evolve and increase his moveset. So, but I like Punk, no matter what. Babyface, heel, whatever he is. He's great. I love Punk to death. This is from Enigma. What are your thoughts on Japanese pro wrestling? From what I've seen, I like it. I haven't seen too much of it. Again, I'm not a big wrestling tape buyer as far as like the independent circuit or Ring of Honor or, TNA. I like WWE DVDs just because I'm a WWE fan first and foremost. But what I've seen of Japanese wrestling, I like it. I like the fact that the fans have respect for it. I like the fact that the fans are very respectful and mindful to wrestlers. I like their style of wrestling. They're very, it's quite brutal, as a matter of fact. It's very reminiscent of ECW as far as their straight edge, smash mouth style. But I like it a lot. This is from Stan the Man. Do you all miss the wrestling promotion that was on MTV, Wrestling Society X? Personally, I liked most of the matches that they had, and most of the talent they had. I like Teddy Hart, Human Tornado, Jack Evans, M-Dog 20, Matt Cross, and etc. I do miss WSX. I think it had a chance to be a success. I think they pushed it a little bit too fast, too far, too fast. And some of their gimmicks were kind of like, okay, I'm not understanding why the coffin's exploding, but anyway. But they had a lot of great talent. You mentioned Jack Evans, Human Tornado, Teddy Hart, M-Dog 20. You had Vampiro, who's still a great talent. Ricky Banderas, who was going to be Judas Messias in TNA very, very soon, if not already. You've got guys that like Sean Waltman, who was there. You got Fabian Kalin, who was the ring announcer guy. He's a great talent. Used to be in XPW under the name GQ Money. Lizzie Valentine and Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal's going to be in WWE soon. Jimmy Grave, I think, was part of WSX. I'm not sure. He's going to be in TNA. He already is in TNA, as a matter of fact. WSX had the chance to be a success. They just pushed it too fast, and it was way too gimmicky. Just way too gimmicky. This is from Havoc. With the new Hart Foundation coming in the near future, do you see either Bret Hart or Jim Neidhart possibly being managers for them? No. Bret Hart did his thing with WWE. He did his thing where he came in and was dug to the Hall of Fame. I think he's done with WWE for the foreseeable future, if not forever. Jim Neidhart, possibly. Jim Neidhart could be a very distinct possibility to manage the new Hart Foundation, but I think they're doing fine on their own, to be perfectly honest with you. I think Teddy and Harry and Natty are doing just fine by themselves. I think that they're doing great, and I think they don't really need a manager. They're doing just fine. Natty's a good manager by herself for the boys, and the boys can manage her during her matches. So I don't think a necessity is needed for, I don't think there's a need for another Hart Foundation member to be added to the mix. Jonesy, what do you think of AJ Styles at the minute in TNA? I personally think they're setting up an AJ versus Christian feud, as AJ is starting to get jealous of Christian, possibly. I think he needs to get out of there so he can help the X Division up and running again. Also, do you think Brock Lesnar would be a good addition to TNA when they go 2 hours? As far as AJ goes, yeah. I think he needs to be pulled out of this whole being Christian's little bitch thing. I mentioned this before on the show. And being put back in the X Division and help rejuvenate the X Division. I think after No Surrender, we may see AJ, after this last pay-per-view they had, maybe seeing AJ move back toward that role, hopefully. I'd like to see AJ be the X Division champion again. He's a great X Division champion. He's a great athlete in general. I think AJ has the talent to be a force to be reckoned with in TNA, but in the role he's in right now as being Christian's little bitch, I don't see him going anywhere. Brock Lesnar would be a great addition to TNA if they go 2 hours, but Brock Lesnar apparently is going to be part of UFC. I mentioned this earlier, so we'll have to see what happens with that. I think if I had my choice, I'd like to see Brock Lesnar in TNA just to see what he would do with Kurt Angle again. This is from Lord of Love. I was born in Mexico and my family moved here to America when I was 3, but I'm not a legal citizen, and my dream is to become a wrestler for the WWE or TNA. But I know they travel a lot, and since I wasn't born here, I don't have a passport. Can I still work for a wrestling company that travels a lot, or should I move to Mexico and wrestle there and wait to be noticed by an American company? Wow. Honestly, get your citizenship. If you want to be a wrestler really, really bad in this country, get your citizenship, take a citizenship test, and pass it with flying colors, and go to wrestling school. I mentioned this before about going to wrestling school, but the first thing you want to do is get your education done, your regular general education done with. Finish high school, finish college, and then go to wrestling school. And get yourself a good teacher that'll teach you the right ways of the business and the wrong ways of the business. And make sure you go to a credible school that'll teach you everything. Don't just go to some fly-by-night shoot operation that, will teach you nothing and leave you penniless. Because there are a lot of those out there. But good luck to you, man. Whatever happens, I hope, keep me posted. Let me know how you're doing with your passport stuff and your citizenship stuff. Just, let me know. This is from my buddy Eric Bishop from Sins of the Flesh cast. What do you think about WWE releasing Crime Time? Why is it that WWE just can't seem to do anything good with the tag team division? They just started the storyline with the Caden Murdoch thing, which looked to be promising, though I didn't really like the Crime Time idea at points. They were used horribly. This story looked like pretty good. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate the question, man. Yeah, Crime Time being released kind of threw me for a loop. Apparently they had some sort of incident in Indiana where they took a referee's belt without authorization and auctioned it off or even gave it away to the fans, I heard. That one surprised me. So did Eugene's release. Eugene's release surprised me as well, considering that he's, been through a lot with the company. He's been suspended already. He's been in trouble already. But I think that he was finally starting to, be back where he was. Those 3 releases really surprised me. Crime Time more so. Crime Time was getting a big push. They were going to be World Tag Team Champions maybe at Unforgiven. And now they're not. It's not going to happen for them at all, which is really unfortunate. I think Crime Time may or may not return to the indie circuit, but I think you'll see Eugene in TNA sooner rather than later. This is from James Below. If you can move one superstar in any of the 3 shows from WWE to another show to push them immediately into that brand's main event slot, who would you choose? CM Punk to Raw. Honest to God. Once he's done with the ECW Championship, though, then do it. Don't do it while he's ECW Champion like you try to do with Lashley. Have him have a good run with the ECW Championship, and then once he drops it, move him to Raw, and have him be in a main event slot for the WWE title. I'm not saying have him win it right away, but have him be in that main event spot to wrestle the WWE Champion, whoever that may be. I think Punk would be a great addition to Raw's roster. He'd be a good addition to SmackDown's roster, too, and get a shot at the World Championship. That I could see happening more likely than the WWE title. This is from Alistair McDonald. What future do you see for The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels? How much longer can they stick around? Undertaker can stick around as long as he wants to. Undertaker is still in phenomenal shape for a guy his age. He's still wrestling like he used to. You notice he's limited his schedule more often than not. He's limited his appearances because he's getting older. But as long as he keeps the schedule he's keeping, he'll be just fine. He has the potential to go far. Shawn Michaels, once he gets his knee healthy, he'll be in the same position. He has the potential to go a long time in this business. Shawn Michaels has been around since 1984, I believe, overall, 1988 in WWE. So he has the potential to take it to the limit as far as his in-ring career goes. Shawn Michaels has a good few years left in him, as does The Undertaker. This is from Adam Pearson. The TNA Lockdown pay-per-view is the only one with a clearly defined gimmick, that being that every match is held in a steel cage. It is held in a steel cage. Would the same gimmick work with other match types, and if so, which ones would it work for? Why and why not others? I don't see a pay-per-view with that happening. Cage match is kind of a special thing where if you have every match in a cage, it's defined and it's clear. With a ladder match, you couldn't really do that. With a table match, it wouldn't work. The people wouldn't buy it. Maybe every match would be a hardcore match like it had in ECW. That would be interesting. Like Raven's Rules or whatever you want to call it in TNA. But I think the reason the cage match thing works is because the cage match is something special. The cage match, especially in TNA with 6 sides of steel, is a special deal. And I think that adding any other pay-per-views with that type of gimmick where it's going to be only ladder matches or only table matches or only this or only that would water down the gimmick. Alright, this is from DJ. I've been hearing rumors that The Undertaker will retire after WrestleMania 24. I was wondering who you would like to see him wrestle in his last match. I'd say Shawn Michaels. Why not? Have them be each other's retirement match. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. They had a great feud in 97. They've had great matches over the years. I personally like to see that match go one more time at WrestleMania. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Just have them just tear each other apart and go out with a bang. Just my personal opinion. Kane would be a good pick, of course. You got guys like, Batista again, or John Cena perhaps. John Cena for the WWE Championship. Ric Flair, if he comes back, that'd be a cool WrestleMania rematch. But I think the best choice would be Shawn Michaels, for sure. Thank you very much to everybody that watched the show today. I appreciate it again. Check us out on myspace.com/Jeff Meacham, NoDQ.com, and the YouTube page at NoDQCAW's username. Get some discussion going again. I like the discussion we had last time. Thank you very much to everybody sending questions. I've got one more page of questions for the next show, number 11, so we'll get to those next time. Thank you all very much, and this has been episode 10 of Talk Wrestling.